Welcome. We're here on Web 2.0 TV with Bjorn Billhardt of Inspire Learning. Bjorn, how would you define Web 2.0 as it pertains to your industry and company, and how it's changed your marketplace over the last year to 18 months?
Well, I think one of the things that really is happening right now in our industry, we're in the e-learning industry, so we develop online training for corporations and for universities. And I think, just like with any other industry, really, the internet started to transform some of the proven dynamics, and that happened in the first boom, if you will. And but a lot of what was happening was really a one-sided a one-sided street where a lot of content was published, a lot of e-learning was developed, but it was not very collaborative. And I think over the last 2 years, really, the power of collaborative training, collaborative e-learning has come to the forefront. And so just like in any other industry, all of a sudden people realize, wait a second, it's not just that you can, publish content online, publish things online, or, enable e-commerce, enable online degrees online. You can actually collaborate and, work online together. And that really is, I think, probably the biggest shift in our industry, in the training industry, that has happened over the last 2 years. So it's very similar and analogous to many other industries where people can all of a sudden be a lot more collaborative, work with each other, create online training, online learning experiences that are not just feeding information to people, but that let them play with each other. So I can give you a few examples of that.
Yeah, what are some specific examples where you're using Web 2.0 technologies in your product line?
So one thing we're working on, we're creating truly innovative online training solutions, and that they include simulations, actually. And one of the things that we used to do, and we still do a lot of those, we create simulations that you take by yourself in front of your computer, and you simulate, let's say, running a company, and that teaches you how to be an entrepreneur, or how to solve finance problems, let's say. And so we have these simulations that you play by yourself. But what we've recently done, and we actually just created a really interesting finance simulation where you get to interact with others in an online environment. So instead of learning finance by reading about it, or by even playing with a simulation yourself, you actually get to participate in an online marketplace, and your actions influence other players' finances and other players' income and expenses, and so you learn how to read financial books, you learn how to read income statements and balance sheets by collaborating with others in this online simulation. And so it's those types of things that we think are going to be more and more prevalent as Web 2.0 becomes of age and becomes more established in the business world.
That's great. Do you see that these technologies are allowing you to have your customers manage their content easier and contribute in terms of teaching, not just the people learning, but the actual people publishing the information and the study lessons?
Yeah, it's very much, the interesting thing is that the real world has been collaborative since the beginning of time. And one thing that happened early on when e-learning, online training first became part of my industry, the education industry, is that a lot of people put content online and thought that would be replacing the classroom. Now, I think it's been proven that hasn't happened, that hasn't been the case. You can't replace the classroom by having a lecture, videotaped, and kind of seeing a little talking head of a professor. So I think the exciting thing with some of these Web 2.0 technologies and with these collaborative environments there's a power that hasn't yet fully been explored, where online education can actually get much closer to the real experience of the classroom, to real life. And it's the same in all industries, I think. I think you probably have a lot of people talk about how it affects their industry. But I think in training in particular, online training has a bad reputation. No one likes going through online classes, and there's a reason for that, because they're frankly boring. These are boring things where you go and click from PowerPoint slide to PowerPoint slide to learn something online. It's not collaborative, it's not interactive, you can't ask questions, and so I think blending online training with some of the things that are coming up in Web 2.0, Second Life. There's a lot of experiments now using Second Life for training. I think there are phenomenal opportunities and possibilities to expand how the web is used.
Right. I mean, you're almost transporting two people to the same place where they can interact in real time, and
much better than reading an online PowerPoint slide from a professor that's far away. There's a project MIT opened up all of their courseware to everyone in the world. So anyone in the world now can actually go online and get an MIT, go through an MIT class. Now, not many people do that, and there's a reason for it. It's not very fun. It's not very interactive, and so that's where Web 2.0 technologies really can I think make a pretty significant impact and can create some change for our industry. So it's exciting for us.
That's great. As the 2.0 movement continues to empower users to voice their demands in the marketplace, how do you plan to listen to those demands and change your product in the next year?
So I think a lot of the things that I've been talking about, we're experimenting in all areas of using Web 2.0 technology. So that includes, creating online training experiences that are, developed in Second Life. It includes creating online simulations, multiplayer simulations, where you really learn by interacting with others. And so, one of the interesting things there is, you learn that the experience, the online training experience, becomes a lot less predictable, and it's a lot more directed by learners and professors. Versus, instead of kind of writing an online textbook, let's say, or writing online PowerPoint slides, they become more interact more with students as well. So I think what that will do is it will do what already is happening in the classroom, in real life, which is it will create training environments that where you don't have necessarily this one-way street, the lecture, but it'll create good discussions, good new innovative ways in which people can communicate and connect with each other, and I think that's the direction that we as a company are taking, and we're listening to people going through these experiences, and from all we're seeing is there is just tremendously more powerful and engaging than having people just read online.
That's great. Well, where can we go on the web to see more of your products and your company?
Our company is called Inspire Learning. It's our website is inspire.com, and we're about 50, 60 professionals here in Austin. Really creative company. We have a lot of people that have joined us from from a diverse set of industries: the entertainment industry, game development, simulation development, and what we're trying to do is really combine the talents of these really creative folks to come up with a new, innovative online training that, in one word, is not boring. Right. So that's our mission, and we've been doing it for about 5 years now. We started 5 years ago in my apartment. We're about 60 people today, working out of downtown Austin, and having a lot of fun.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Bjorn, for coming by today. And this is Bjorn Billhardt with Inspire Learning.
Thank you very much.